that Prince Harry is planning a shameless return to the UK in 2026 with a plan to, and I quote, sow the seeds for a semi-permanent return to his country.
Harry is on the verge of some type of serious meltdown here. We saw it with a quite deranged statement released to try and say,
It looks like Harry is finally waking up to what the whole world's been whispering for years about the once glamorous Duchess of Sussex. Has the prince finally hit his limit? And if he has, what does that mean for the couple that once ruled every headline with royal sparkle and Hollywood charm? Back in 2018, their wedding was the talk of the planet.
In love and trust, they shall be united with one another in heart, body, and mind, as Christ is united with his bride, the Church. The gift of marriage brings husband and wife together in the delight and tenderness of
a global spectacle dripping with luxury, love, and fairy tale illusions. Cameras flashed, celebrities cheered, and the world believed they were witnessing history, a royal story rewritten for a modern age. But 7 years later, that fairy tale has lost its shine. What was once painted as revolutionary now looks like a messy reality show. The very couple that promised to reshape the monarchy has become its biggest source of tension and scandal. Every few months, there's a new controversy, a new headline, a new public meltdown. The former Suits actress went from being celebrated as a breath of fresh air to being the center of nonstop drama. From leaked interviews to rumored feuds, Meghan's name has become a lightning rod for chaos. And poor Harry, once the adored rebel prince, now looks caught in the storm she helped create. The question is,
Duchess of Sussex will step down from all future royal duties. It was confirmed that the couple will lose their public funding and no longer use their royal titles.
Well, last night, Prince Harry addressed the situation in public.
How much longer can he stand in it before he finally breaks free? From the very moment Meghan walked into the royal spotlight and said, "I do" to the Duke of Sussex, the world hasn't stopped talking. Their relationship became a non-stop headline factory. Every smile, every outfit, every glance between them was analyzed like royal scripture. Even years later, the noise still hasn't faded, especially after what the media called Megxit, that explosive decision in 2020 when Harry and Meghan ditched their senior royal roles to chase financial independence. What a storm that move created. The announcement shook Buckingham Palace to its core and sent shockwaves through every newsroom on the planet. Accusations started flying, headlines turned vicious, and the tabloids went into full hunting mode.
What I want to make clear is, we're not walking away. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding.
Meghan became the target of every kind of criticism imaginable. From her background to her behavior, from her family drama to her Hollywood past, nothing was off limits. But this wasn't just royal gossip anymore. It was rebellion, a direct hit on an institution older than memory itself, one that had ruled untouched for centuries. The public was divided, the palace was furious, and suddenly Meghan wasn't just a duchess. She was an outsider storming a centuries-old fortress. Yet even with the hate and headlines piling up, Harry and Meghan packed their bags and crossed the Atlantic.
It was unprecedented. There was a public backlash, not against their decision to step back. I think there's huge sympathy for the idea that they weren't happy and that they want to live a more peaceful life, as it was put in that statement.
By mid-2020, they were gone, trading castles and courtiers for California sunshine and celebrity chaos. That shocking move across the Atlantic wasn't meant to destroy the royal system, at least not on paper. Harry and Meghan claimed they just wanted peace, privacy, and a shot at building a life free from royal restrictions. They wanted freedom from the endless rules, traditions, and media traps that came with the palace walls. But now, years later, whispers are growing louder. Is Prince Harry starting to regret it?
Presents a shock reversal of Megxit when the Sussexes relinquished their HRH titles, his and her Royal Highness, and moved to North America.
Is the once rebellious Duke finally missing the home he tried so hard to leave behind? Lately, royal insiders say Harry's tone has changed. The man who once criticized the system now sounds nostalgic, even sentimental. The shift became crystal clear after he released a 647-word essay titled "The Bond, the Bands, the Brave: What It Means to be British." In it, Harry wrote with emotion about the pride, memories, and beauty he still sees in Britain. The culture, the people, even the weather. It's a huge change from the man who once said the only thing he missed about the UK was the sky. Now he's describing his homeland with warmth and affection, and the timing couldn't be more suspicious.
The royalist where Tom Sykes writes, Prince Harry has inadvertently sparked speculation about plans long denied by his team that he one day plans to return to the UK by saying he currently lives in the US.
Critics are calling it a soft rebrand, a subtle way to crawl back into royal favor without admitting regret. But one line in particular from that essay has everyone talking, sparking debates across both sides of the Atlantic. An emotional excerpt from Harry's essay read, "Though currently I may live in the United States, Britain is and always will be the country I proudly served and fought for." That single line hit the internet like a bombshell. To many, it sounded less like patriotism and more like a quiet cry for help, a glimpse into a man aching for the world he left behind. Critics and royal watchers immediately pounced, claiming Harry's homesickness was written between every word.
You replied, F.O. Harry, but you added, Harry wants to go back to the UK so bad, it's scary. He's on the verge of a mental breakdown.
One user on X summed it up perfectly, writing, "He wants to go home so bad. He's finally reached his breaking point." Others echoed the same thought, calling the essay a desperate reach for connection to a home that no longer feels like his behavior expert Judy James even broke it down further, pointing out that the prince's use of words like may currently and always signals a deep emotional longing. According to her, those aren't random phrases. They reveal a heart still tied to Britain, no matter how far he tries to run. After years of turmoil, the marriage, the move, and the relentless media circus, is Prince Harry realizing that maybe the dream of freedom came with too heavy a price? Could the rebel prince actually be thinking about a quiet, maybe even embarrassing, return to the royal palace he once walked away from? The whispers got even louder when Harry told a podcaster that he's not a US citizen.
I mean, Harry's language about the United Kingdom has totally changed. Do you remember he wouldn't used to praise the United Kingdom at all? It was like, no, LA is my home. I'm never ever going back. He was pretty negative about it, or he couldn't even say anything positive. So, Stephanie, what's your reading on this? Just go into your post on X a little bit more.
That one line had everyone raising eyebrows. Fans saw it as another clue that his heart still belongs in Britain, that deep down, he never truly left. But not everyone agrees. Some argue the essay wasn't about homesickness at all. It was a reflection on his military past, written in honor of Remembrance Day. Yet even that stirred controversy, with critics accusing Harry of exaggerating his service record and using his time in uniform to rebuild his damaged public image. It's wild to think how far things have fallen for the couple once crowned the modern face of royalty. Back in 2018, Harry and Meghan were unstoppable, the American actress and the British prince, breaking barriers and rewriting royal tradition. They looked like a love story too good to be true, and maybe that's exactly what it was. Because now, the fairy tale that once symbolized hope and unity has turned into a long-running saga of division, distance, and doubt. And as the cracks in their image widen, speculation is growing that Prince Harry might be planning something big, maybe even an escape from the California life he once chased so hard. How does a man who had the entire world in his hands end up questioning everything?
Will you take Meghan to be your wife? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and protect her, and forsaking all other, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live?
He had the wealth, the power, the legacy, and now he's just trying to figure out where he truly belongs. And just like that, the man who once had it all threw it away, for her, for a woman the public has branded as manipulative, self-absorbed, and ruthless. Meghan Markle has somehow stayed at the center of every royal storm, no matter how hard her PR team tries to clean up the mess. Every time a scandal fades, another one explodes. From the Balenciaga debacle to endless feuds with her own family, chaos seems to follow her like a shadow she can't escape.
For some reason, he left all that for Meghan. And Meghan, who is, in my opinion, a narcissist, is driving him insane.
He's in an abusive relationship. Absolutely, Nancy.
People can't help but ask, has the once perfect couple finally fallen apart behind the scenes? Or was the whole thing just a well-crafted illusion from day one? From their dramatic royal exit to that explosive Oprah interview and their overly polished Netflix doc, everything about them has felt staged. All those public displays of affection, the hand-holding, the dreamy smiles, the rehearsed glances, were they genuine love or part of Meghan's carefully curated performance? Some claim it was nothing more than her final role, keeping the cameras rolling and the spotlight on them while preaching about privacy at the same time. Now, the irony is painful. The same Duke who once mocked his homeland and distanced himself from everything British is suddenly acting like he wants back in. After years of subtle digs and loud accusations aimed at the monarchy, the press, and even the people he once swore to represent, Harry's tone has changed.
Trying to win over Brits like me and make us just forget, right, that you literally called us all racists in your Netflix documentary for backing Brexit, and that you accused the royal family of also being racist. It's just not.
He's gone from rebel prince to a man quietly searching for redemption. While Meghan keeps pushing the narrative that the world is against her together, they built a brand of rebellion, but now it looks like the cracks are finally showing. And this time, no PR spin or Netflix storyline can hide the truth. For years, the Sussexes have made their royal misery everyone's business. From interviews to podcasts to docuseries, they've painted life inside the palace as unbearable, cruel, cold, and suffocating. But here's the twist. If royal life was so awful, why do they still cling to those titles like lifelines? Despite rejecting the system, they refuse to let go of the Duke and Duchess labels, the very badges they claim trapped them. It's as if those titles are the last shields protecting them from fading into Hollywood irrelevance. The fairy tale love story that once symbolized freedom and rebellion now looks more like a slow-motion implosion.
There's a hierarchy of the family. There's leaking, but there's also planting of stories.
There was a war against Meghan to suit other people's agendas.
It's about hatred. It's about race.
It's a dirty game.
What was supposed to be a partnership built on liberation has turned into something filled with regret, tension, and quiet resentment. Insiders whisper that the cracks are growing, and even Meghan's recent attempt to show off their love backfired in the worst way possible. In a now viral clip from their home security footage, yes, their own camera, Meghan surprised Harry during a World Series game, walking into their private theater to hug and kiss him as the Dodgers celebrated a win. It was meant to look adorable and spontaneous, a couple still in sync after years of chaos. But viewers saw something very different. Instead of warmth, Harry's body language screamed discomfort. The clip felt forced, overly polished. Like Meghan was performing for an audience Harry didn't know existed. Critics joked that he looked more like a man trapped in a PR stunt than one celebrating a victory with his wife. And when the footage hit the internet, people couldn't stop asking.
Pain and suffering of women marrying into this institution, this feeding frenzy.
Was that affection real, or was it just another carefully staged episode in the Sussex soap opera? But the essay wasn't the only reason Harry found himself back in the headlines. In true classic Harry fashion, controversy followed him right into the remembrance period. And this time, it was all about timing. While Prince William was representing the crown in Rio de Janeiro, dazzling the world at the prestigious Earthshot Prize Awards inside the iconic Museum of Tomorrow, Harry was making waves of his own with a quasi-royal tour in Canada. The overlap didn't go unnoticed. Not by the press, not by fans, and definitely not by royal watchers who live for this kind of drama. Online detectives immediately started connecting dots, pointing out a suspicious pattern that's been growing for years.
Of hearts breaking all around the world. She's becoming a royal rock star.
And then every time Prince William steps into the spotlight, Harry seems to pop up somewhere else at the exact same moment. Coincidence? Maybe? Strategy? Many think so. Some called it a deliberate attempt to split attention, to remind the world that he's still a royal force, even if the palace wishes he wasn't. Of course, Harry's camp denied everything, saying his Canada trip had been planned for a year and was set by the charity hosting him, not by him personally. But let's be real, that didn't stop the speculation. Commentators like Daily Beast journalist Tom Sykes even labeled it a serious error in judgment, arguing that whether intentional or not, the move reignited tension between the brothers. Because even an ocean apart, William and Harry's rivalry burns hot. Every move, every headline, every appearance, it all feels like a silent chess match between the crown and the runaway prince.
I realized they're never going to protect you.
I was terrified. I didn't want history to repeat itself.
While King Charles, Queen Camilla, Kate, and little Prince George stood in London, honoring Remembrance Day with dignity and tradition, Harry and Meghan were living it up across the Atlantic, in full Hollywood mode. Instead of somber ceremonies and quiet reflection, the Duke and Duchess were spotted glammed up at Kris Jenner's James Bond-themed 70th birthday bash. Champagne, flashing cameras, and A-list chaos surrounded them as they mingled with the likes of Oprah, Mariah Carey, Paris Hilton, and even Justin Bieber. The contrast was shocking, and exactly the kind of spectacle that has everyone talking.
Harry has provoked suspicions he is trying to take attention off his brother Prince William by travelling to Canada to support such causes today, the same day William presents his Earthshot Prize.
Just days earlier, they'd been glowing on the red carpet at the Baby 2 Baby Gala alongside Serena Williams, smiling like nothing in the world could touch them. But when those photos dropped, Harry laughing, Meghan sparkling, critics didn't hold back. They called it tone-deaf, disrespectful, and yet another example of how far the Sussexes have drifted from their royal roots. The timing couldn't have been worse. While his family stood in the rain honoring fallen heroes, Harry was sipping champagne under chandeliers. The difference was night and day, literally royalty versus reality TV energy. And now everyone's asking the same thing. After so many PR flops, can Harry and Meghan's brand survive another hit? Or have they finally turned their royal fairy tale into just another Hollywood headline? Spotify dropped them. Netflix reportedly scaled back their deals.
Prince Harry's ultimate shame as he puts the Kardashians before the veterans who he claims to care most about. It was a tale of two contrasting headlines.
Their Archetypes podcast, gone quiet. Even their red carpet moments barely make noise anymore. The power couple that once dominated headlines now struggles to stay relevant in a world that's clearly moved on. Royal experts are saying out loud what fans have been whispering for months. Harry and Meghan's star power is fading fast. And if Harry truly is having second thoughts, could that mean we're heading toward the unthinkable? A royal reconciliation? Or has the damage gone too far, the bridges burned beyond repair? Every move he makes lately, the essay, the awkward public clips, the haunted expressions, feels like the story of a man slowly coming undone. Some say he's spiraling, others say he's simply haunted by what he left behind. But one thing's undeniable. Prince Harry is no longer the same man who stood at that royal altar 7 years ago. So, what do you think? Is Harry finally cracking under the weight of his choices? Or is a royal reunion secretly brewing behind closed doors? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe because this story is far from over and you don't want to miss what comes next.